Hey there. Today I'm going to show you how to build a two-step or multi-step funnel that looks like it spans across different sites or organizations, but is actually running on a single Shopify store. As an example, let's say we start with a page like this, a 5 reasons why listicle that really sells our product. Maybe it's coming from a third-party source, but the basic idea is we're trying to get people engaged and involved with our brand and excited to buy. And then somewhere on this page, maybe it's at the bottom, or maybe it's up here at the top, but they click and they get taken to the next part of the funnel where they can actually buy our product. So this is a classic lander. Point is that there's a buy box for them to actually purchase our product. So currently this funnel isn't really what we want it to be. For example, there's a header that really shows off that this is the same site and the domain is the exact same. So I'll go back to the 5 reasons why listicle and you'll see the header. There's also a footer way down here that all are part of our store and our theme. And the domain is also the exact same. Point is, when I click here and go to the next part of the funnel, the user isn't convinced that they've actually traversed organizations. And now this really looks like the same organization just told them to buy their own product. So how do we make this mid-funnel hop feel like it's taking place across different storefronts or organizations? The first concept we're going to have to tackle is the concept of an alias domain. So let's go over to Shopify. And this is just our normal Shopify admin. I'm going to come up to the search bar and look for domains and go to the domain setting. You can manage your domains across a number of platforms with Shopify, but we're just going to show you how to do this within Shopify's built-in domain manager. The core concept here is that Shopify allows for 3 different types of domains. There's the primary domain, which we have set to store.replo.app. There are redirect domains, so replo merch.myshopify.com. If we come over here and go to this, you'll see it just redirects directly to our primary domain. But what we want is what we have as a alias domain. So we have actually bought a domain called alias domain for store, and we have configured it to be an alias domain. And you can see here, displays contents of online store, but doesn't redirect or update the browser's address bar. So let's look at what that means in practice. So if we just go here, this gives us the exact same thing as if we went to store.replo.app. And the 2 things here are serving the same Shopify storefront or theme, but the address bar is completely distinct. So we can use that to a good effect in our funnel. So you just need to make sure that you have an alias domain set up. Let's go back to the first part of our lander and go to here. And you'll notice now the domain hasn't changed at all. So this looks like potentially a different store. We still have the header, which we have to figure out. So let's go ahead and do that now. So let's go into Replo. Here in Replo, we have both of the parts of our funnel. So we have the listicle and we have the lander. We're not going to do anything to the lander itself, just the part of our funnel that is the pre-hop part. So let's go in here and click into Settings, Shopify Theme, and hide header and footer. And let's go ahead and hide the announcement bar as well. I will click Save Settings. Okay, now that that is saved, let's go back into the 5 reasons why listicle and let's go ahead and refresh. Great, almost there. Let's go back into Replo and let's change these CTAs to go, instead of what we call a relative link, which is to say relative to the domain, let's actually hard code the domain to change. So let's type in shop.replo.app and let's open this in a new tab to further create the effect of transitioning from one organization to another. Let's go ahead and save that. Let's go change our other CTA. Now let's publish those changes. Great, let's go back to our lander and refresh that. So those are 5 reasons why lander, and you can think of this as the start of our particular funnel. You can make this funnel multi-steps, but ours is just 2. So this URL with this alias domain could be used in an email newsletter or a meta ad, for example, and the user would land here none the wiser. They might read about your amazing product, and let's say they click the CTA at the bottom. And now they have opened a new tab where they actually look like they have moved stores. You can imagine that mid-hop funnel being more dramatic by maybe changing the color scheme on this first part even more, making it look very much not like the brand that is actually selling this. Now they have landed here. They actually haven't left your store, but it looks like they've traversed two different organizations or sites. That's it. Hope all that made sense. This is super useful for storytelling funnels, newsletters, and paid ads. Hope it helps.